Good evening, welcome. Welcome to Tuesday evening, week 9 of lockdown, I think it is. Week 9 of karate in my own dojo, or karate in my kitchen as it is for myself. Hope you're well, looking after yourselves and your families, and still with us and still training. I've been reading lots of communication amongst karateka all over the world, which is really interesting, seeing how people are keeping in touch. Whether they be doing Zoom classes, Teams classes, Facebook Live classes, YouTube Live classes. There are a million and one different ways to connect with each other, and I think it's really lovely that we're all being able to do that. I hope you're able to do it as well, at least joining us in our dojo on a Tuesday and a Thursday evening. So this week's plan is that tonight we are concentrating on three things, three Japanese words: Kime, Shime and Hikite. Okay, so I will go through those with you throughout the course of tonight's lesson, which will be about an hour long, as usual. No longer than an hour and 10 minutes on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to do something different, and that will be about a 50-minute lesson, so finishing at 10 to 8, so we can still go out and respect the NHS workers and frontline workers as we continue to fight this pain in the backside that is the coronavirus. And then on Friday 6 till 7 PM, we have a Q&A again with Sensei, where you can ask me any questions you want about my history of karate, my likes and loves of karate, dislikes, what katas I like or dislike, where have I trained, who have I trained with, how long have I trained, whatever you need to ask me, I can answer those questions. There were some really good ones when we did it a few weeks ago, so hopefully you'll join me on Friday. So very nice chilled and relaxed evening. I'll be sitting in my office and you just fire away the questions and I'll do my best to answer them. If you've got any questions about your own karate, I'm really interested in those. So really those ones about, you're practicing at home but you're struggling with a certain point, or you've watched one of the lessons and you don't understand a point. So I'll be very keen to find out if you have questions like that for myself. Okay, so this evening I'm going to quickly say hello to a few people as usual, and we'll do a quick warm-up and then we'll continue with the lesson. As I say, tonight it's all about Kime, Shime and Hikite. Okay, so a quick few hellos. Okay, so Andy Sensei, Sharon Sensei, older Andy Sensei, shouldn't call him that really, but it's fun. Thomas, good evening. Ewan, you need to learn how to spell that's quite funny. Sensei Ken, good evening Beth, good evening Kayla, we've got correctly, well done Ewan. Wayne Sensei, how are you? Okay, Magdalena, the Hartleys, how are you all? Kayla, good evening, thank you for joining me. Robot family, thank you as always for joining us, and Thomas Son. So I'm sure there'll be a few other people along at some point. So we'll just get the lesson going with the warm-up, and then we'll continue, as I say, with those three things that we're going to focus on this evening. At the end of each lesson, we finish with the dojo-kun. It'd be really good if you could try to follow that with me, and even learn it yourself. Okay, so you need to learn the English and Japanese, and I'm going to go through that with you again on Friday as part of the Q&A. So I can tell you what it means in English and things like that. I might do that in one of these lessons as well, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so great. Okay, so arms forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, both arms back. 1, 2, and forwards. 1, 2, and back. 1, forwards. 2, and out. 1, cross. 1, and out. 1, and cross. 1, and back, and up and down. Take the left arm, figure of 8. Right arm. Arms up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And just let them drop. Go to the top and drop. 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 Again, letting them go out. And just crossing over the back. There's a reason we're doing this, which will become apparent when we start doing the lesson. Okay, so just swing the arms. Make sure you've got enough room to do this. And you're close to next to your partner if you're with somebody. If you're training with somebody. Okay, so twisting nice and low. sweeping those arms. Just relax. So your body's momentum is controlling the arms. The arms themselves are just weight, so dead weight. So nothing in those arms. So just relax your wrists up and down. Shaking. Okay, now get your elbows going the same. Under your shoulders. And do the funky chicken. So you're just trying to let the arms completely relax. I guess anyone who doesn't do karate is watching me now and thinking, what on earth is that man doing? But this is really, really important, learning how to relax your body. And in particular, we've talked about this week on week, all about the shoulders. Okay, so good. So that's your right arm across now. And just relax and pull. And keep pulling it ever so slowly. And the same pull down. And across. And pull down. Okay, now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, and to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let those arms relax. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, very good, very good, very good. Someone's just joined us. Let's say hello to Dylan and Bron. Good evening, good evening. And I think I've got everybody so far. Okay, okay, so that should hopefully be your shoulders done. Okay, next is the hips, koshi. So just a little shake, a little shimmy. And then wider, wider's not the right word. Just relax more, twist more. Okay. Hip in, hip out, 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 hip in, hip out. Change legs. Feet straight, facing the front as much as possible. Don't the back leg like this. Okay. If you have a dog leg, this is wrong. You can't use your hip. No hip, no hip. So here, hip, 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 hip. Just freeing up this area of your hips. Okay, good. So that's your arms done, okay, and that's your hips done, okay. So next we're going to the legs, okay. So the ashi. Okay, so with your leg up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you. Okay, change legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you. So I'm just letting my leg drop there, and then using the ground to bounce back up. Okay, so we want to relax. Good evening, Sensei Christian and Zach. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so now kicking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10. Again, other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay, now think not kicking. Same again, but think relaxing. Foot doing this. Flappy feet, as we call it in the dojo. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Talk to your body. So when you first do the first kick, it's probably a bit tense, because that's what we tend to do in Shotokan. And then tell yourself, relax, 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 relax. And you've got to talk to yourself, talk to your body. So too tense, relax. And in the end, you're just letting the leg and the ankle just flop, like so. Okay, so hopefully that's the whole body relaxed. Maybe not the head. Okay, so neck to the side, to the side, to the side, to the side, forwards and back, forwards and back, side, 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 side. Again, don't force the head, just let it drop. Just let it drop. Just let it drop. Just let it drop. It's important as you go through your journey in Shotokan Karate, and however long that may be, could be a few weeks, could be months, could be 30 years, that you learn about your body. You learn to understand your body and how it works. Not just physically, not just the arms and legs and torso and head and everything like that, but also in here. Your mind is as much as your body as the physical self. The thing is though, you can't see that. And I think that's a big issue with a lot of people, and that is they're not able to see that from, you can't see in my mind and I can't see in yours. But you can control your own mind and you can teach yourself to relax, okay? So, you know, I've had a very bad back for the last 3 weeks now at least. I'm still cycling every day, and I was cycling the other day, had continuous back pain throughout the whole journey. It was horrendous, really just didn't enjoy it. The 10-mile ride I wish I hadn't done. And then I kept thinking, why am I tensing? So I thought about changing the handlebars, the seat position, and then I thought, no, change your mind. So I got on the bike, first mile, relax, second mile, relax, third mile, relax, fourth mile, and so forth. No pain. No pain at all, because I allowed my body to just relax on the bike, pedals to just go as normal, and no pain at all, no pain or discomfort afterwards either. So I do truly believe that you can control any part of your body and do what you want to do as long as your mind and body connect together. That's a bit of a skill. It takes a little bit of a while to learn, I think, but you can do that. So, our 3 things this evening. Okay, number 1 will be Kime, number 2 Shime, lesser known, and third one Hikite. All 3 very important. Think of them as the 3 Ks of karate: Kihon, Kata, Kumite. Okay, Kime, Shime, Hikite. Without those 3, or an imbalance in one of the 3 or 2 of the 3, karate is again unbalanced, which is not a good place to be. So what is Kime? What is Kime? Think of it as the finish at the end. Okay, Mushin. Handy Sensei said Mushin, of the mind. Yeah, Mushin is the Japanese word of the mind. Sensei Derek in Ireland, his dojo is called Mushin, which is really good. So it means that what's in here. Okay, so Kime is the finish, the end of each technique. Okay, now in Shotokan karate, if we're punching, it's here. It's just at the point of impact. If we're blocking, it's here. Okay, if we're striking, it's here, just as a point of impact. And what we have to do is create a moment, just a moment in time, where our body connects and locks up, a bit like those Lego bricks I said, and it tightly locks up. So it's like a clamp. Okay, and if you think of this action here, a bang, a clap, okay, is the Kime. The Kime is the point of impact, and that's really what we're going to be practicing for one part of the lesson this evening. Okay, so that's really what I'm going to try and get at, and we're going to practice just a couple of very simple basic techniques to hopefully get you a better understanding of the word Kime. Learning how to do it, I definitely think takes time. You know, when I go back to my early days in karate in the 90s, I definitely didn't have Kime. I had power, I had strength, I had a lot of guts, stupidity, and a lot of other things that were probably all quite bad, but I didn't have Kime. And so Kime is something that is learned. So the best way that we're going to do this is just start with the most basic technique we can do in karate, which is chokuzuki. So everybody please rei, hey, enjoy. Okay, so just relax the body to start with, okay? And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to do maybe 4 punches, that's all, okay? But I want you to tense throughout the whole of the punch and the technique. So your whole body, okay, if I'm 14 stone 11, which I am, so I weighed myself yesterday, that's been consistent for a long time, so nothing changes there. Maybe the hair is getting heavier, I don't know. But we are going to tense right the way through that technique. So we're tensing on this arm, and we're tensing on this arm, and we're pushing down and tensing. Okay, every part of your body is tensing, and we're going to see what happens after just 4 punches. Ready? Itch. Okay, and knee. And some. Hey, she. Yeah, relax. Now you can see that I've used all of my energy. All of it is gone in 4 techniques. So now I'm done. We're finished. We go home and we put the kettle on and relax. That's tension using the whole body and the mind throughout the whole of a technique. Okay, you will start to physically shake, okay, as your muscles become tense and more tense and more tense, and they start to starve of oxygen, and you get cramping sometimes and things like that. So you can see that 1, that is incredibly slow, 2, it's incredibly draining on the mind and body, and 3, just not good form or technique, okay? So now we do the opposite. So now we bow and we relax, and we put the arm out, and we don't make a fist, we just let our hands relax. Same on here, and we go ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, hanju. So you can see the total difference there, the whole body relaxed. So my weight is not pushing down, it's just gravity that's holding me down here. But I'm just relaxing everything, relaxing the mind, relaxing the hands, the arms, the shoulders, my solar plexus area. No tension, just total relaxation. And there you can see that we just don't have that crisp finish that Shotokan Karate is famous for. Good evening, Sensei George, us from Greece. Good evening, us. So we don't want one or the other of those, we want this in between. So what we're going to try and do is create a technique which is relaxed and then just tenses at that point that I said earlier of impact. So relax, 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 and then bang. And that's really what we're trying to do. So right arm on the right hip, okay, so migi hip, okay, left arm out, hidari, okay, and just focusing straight ahead, okay, relax your shoulders, let your shoulders drop, let your body just relax, okay, and then just punching nice and relaxed, and just a little bit of tension, at the end, ish, so just enough to turn the fist over, close the fist, squeeze, let go, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, hanju. Okay, so travelling like this sort of motion. So letting the arm flow. Okay, flow, bang. Okay, if you think of waves are a really good way of describing this, especially if you're a scientist, Sensei Christian. The wave comes in from the sea, from the open sea, and comes into the shore, and then bang. Hits the beach, bang. Hits the person, bang. Hits the barrier, bang. And it's that point that we're looking for. So we relax, and we just tense at the end. So I can show you now with one arm. Okay, just here, tense at the end. Here, tense. Hand open, tense at the end. Hand open, tense at the end. Hand open, tense at the end. And you can see this is where we get our snap from in karate. Okay, it's not just Thanos that does this stuff, it's us. So our snap is better than his though. So we basically want to make sure this is just tension at the end. Okay, and that's Kime. Kime is that defining the final blow. Okay, so that's what Kime means. Kime means the end of the technique. Okay, the end. Okay, so you need to learn how to do this. But you will probably, like I, start in karate, intense pretty much through most of it. Okay, intense money. The trouble is you'll waste energy, you're not doing correct formal technique. But time is what differentiates between me and a white belt. Okay, I'm still a white belt, but just been doing it for 30 years. So we make sure that we try to tense at the end. So we're going to do 10 punches now, okay, and we're going to try and put Kime at the end of each punch. Okay, so ich, just the end, and then relax those shoulders, relax the arms, reconnect, brain and body, and ish, and relax. Okay, now I'm going to put a bit more tension, so I'm hoping that you'll see the tension, if I can. I'm going to isolate this part of the shoulder to show you, and then I'm going to relax it to hopefully show you. I might come a little bit closer, sorry about this. Okay, so, ni. So you see that, drop down, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, ju, yeah. And you relax. Now my sensei always taught me that when I first learned this, he used to say punch, drop, and he used to say pull down your shoulders, pull them down. So draw them to the floor. Imagine you're carrying big buckets of water. So draw your shoulders down. And so I spent many, many years forcing myself down, okay, with my shoulders. What he really meant was relax your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. But the only way for us to understand that was for him to say, drag your shoulders down to make this action happen. So I think, you know, again, our understanding of karate is different as a beginner to what it is as we go through our journey. Your understanding of different techniques change. When learning Chokuzuki as a white belt, it's the first punch you ever learn and pretty much the first move you learn in karate. As a black belt, you're trying to understand your body, elbows tucked in, all of this technique, making it better. Always aiming for the perfect technique, which is never possible. So perfection in karate just doesn't happen. So we are trying all the time to improve. And I think that's the key thing, is improve our technique constantly. And so you can never get bored of Chokuzuki. I don't, anyway. I practice it a lot, so pretty much everywhere, if I'm perfectly honest, when no one's watching. So again, same thing. So this time, just quickly, so Kime, I'm trying to think how I can show you it. So relax and tense, just at the end. Okay, so Agiyuki, tense. Agiyuki, tense. Sotoryuki, tense. Sotoryuki, tense. So it's relaxed. It's relaxed. It's relaxed. It's relaxed. Just on impact, tension. Just impact. Uchiuki, tense. Uchiuki, tense. Gidan Barai, tense. Gidan Barai, tense. Shutoki, tense. Shutoki, tense. The rest of the action before that last 2% is all relaxed. Because if a relaxed technique is going to build speeds, power finishes on the Kime. Okay, so I hope I'm describing this well enough for you to understand, okay, and able to do as I do in practice. Okay, so left arm out, Chokuzuki. We stay with Chokuzuki for the moment and we move on to those blocks and some other techniques in a moment. Okay, so ich, ni, san, shi. Now, are you tensing too much? Are you tensing too much? I definitely was then, so I hope you weren't copying me. But you can feel the change, the difference. Relax, tense, relax, tense, relax, tense, relax, tense, relax. Okay, so high grades, you can use a little bit of hip on this if you wish to. Okay, so relaxing 10 punches. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rok, sich, hach, ku, haichu, hey, hey, rei, us. Okay, so anyway. Okay, dependent upon how much room you have, step back, Gidan Barai Kime, ich. Okay, so yoi position for Agiyuki, upper rising block. So let the rising punch rise and Kime, rise and Kime, rise and Kime. Not Kime. So rise and Kime, rise, Kime. Rise, Kime. Rise, Kime. You can hopefully see the difference. Okay, and change legs. So again, relax, tense. Relax, tense. Relax, tense. Relax, tense. Of course, change legs. Okay, so Sotoryuki outside front block. Relax, tense. Relax, tense, relax, tense, relax, tense. Don't tense all the way through, just tense at the end. Kime, change legs. Sotoryuki again, ish, and tense. Ni, and tense. San, and tense. Shi, and tense. Go. Hey, relax, change legs. Uchiuki, relax, tense. Most people tense all the way through this, don't. Just the end. San, shi, go. Change legs. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Hey, change legs. Okay, Gidan Barai, down the block. Hey, ich. Relax. So this one is easy, just let the arm drop. Let the arm drop and tense. 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 Change legs. Tense. Let the arm drop. Tense. Let the arm drop. Tense. Let the arm drop. It's just hopefully see what I mean. With Kime, it's all about learning the difference between what is tense and what is relaxed. Okay, and you have to train your muscles. So if you're an athlete wanting to do the 100 meters, okay, you need to work out all the different elements that will affect the speed of your technique. So technique is really important. Okay, you need to learn about your muscles. You need to learn about nutrition. You need to learn about breathing. You need to learn about the amount of oxygen you take. You need to learn about everything that connects your body together to maximise its potential, if that's the right thing. And I think that's the thing, it's always trying to strive and seek for your ultimate potential. And I think it changes. Most people would think that we're probably best at sort of mid-20s, maybe early 30s. But actually it's not true. In many different sports and pastimes, martial arts in particular, your best is much, much, much later. Much, much later, when you've got a full understanding of how to get the perfect technique, or as near to as we can get. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, so Gyakuzuki, just a quick last thing on Kime. Okay, we will then join the three together at some point at the end of the evening. So step forward each. Okay, left arm out. Okay, and we're going to do Jodan Zuki, so Jodan Gyakuzuki. Okay, and the reason for this is that I don't want you to bring your shoulder up. Okay, I want you to relax your arm and just tense the end. So this will be like a spear, literally going. Okay, so if you had a javelin or a spear, okay, like so. So each, ni, san, so just at the end. Shi, hey go, hey change legs. Hey. Again, relax, just at the ankles. Ich, ni, san, shi, hey go, hey eme, dos, hey enoi, relax. Okay, I've gone from having a very cold floor to a lovely toasty warm floor and a very warm kitchen. Okay, so Kime. Okay, so we're going to move on now to Shime. So Shime, I think the best word I can describe for this is tension or contraction. So think of squeezing your hands together. Here, squeezing. That kind of contraction, I think is probably the right word. Contraction. Yeah, I think it's squeezing, contraction, tension. Tension is probably the right word. Tension. So before, okay, now, just squeezing together. Not Kime, it's not that snap feeling, if that makes sense. Okay, so where then? Where do you use Shime? Well, you use it everywhere in your karate, more than you possibly imagine, okay? And I can demonstrate that just using the techniques that we've just done. So, interestingly, all three of these elements, as you're starting to probably work out, are connected very closely. So, it gives you an idea of probably the best way to show you, I think, on camera, I hope, is here. This element here. So this part here, which is sort of an abdomen, easy for me to say, here, and hara, okay? And the lower part of the stomach area, this part here. And in Shotokan karate, this is super important because this is our center of gravity. And the best way I can kind of do it is squeeze. Not when you see, when I first started karate, I used to see one of my favorite senseis. When sensei, okay, used to hit him, he used to go, and I used to think, oh, that must have really hurt. And then you do it, and you go, oh, I bet that really hurt. And somehow you've got pleasure out of watching somebody else's pain. And it wasn't that at all. What he was doing was contracting using Shime, okay, to absorb the technique that was being put upon him, but also to make him stronger. Okay, so that's one good reason of doing it. Another is the contraction of the legs. So as we come into our stance, we drop and we squeeze because we become stronger. If we let our legs just go like this, there's no... So you have to contract. Moving back, you have to contract the muscles to step backwards. So contraction is not just here, okay? It is not just with the legs either. It is every part of the body again. Us. Okay, us. I need to say hello to somebody. Sensei Rolf, good evening, Switzerland. Hope you and Tanya are well. My brother. Sensei Rolf did his six down with me in Grenoble a couple of years ago. And yeah, we had a good fight at the end of that. And most enjoyable. And we both passed our red belts on that day. I will tell you that story on Friday if you remind me, okay? So how did Sensei Ski become a 9th Q red belt in July 2018? Well, I'll tell you the end, I'll tell you the story, it's a very interesting story. So good evening, Sensei Rolf. So contraction, tension, everything here. So we start with basic Chokazuki, punch, and squeeze, 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 here. So think of a melon. You can't squeeze a melon, not I'm aware of anyway, and in terms of, you can squeeze it, yeah? So you push tension, push down, push up, push down, push up, push in, push out, yeah? So squeeze, so punch, squeeze, 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 squeeze. And you will very quickly doing this feel your abdominal muscles really having a jolly good workout, okay? When you do the plank, okay, if you do the plank correctly, you're not resting on your arms. You're using your core, this part of your body, okay, to contract, okay, and this is what controls your plank, and actually ultimately enables you to hold the plank for longer. It's nothing to do with your arms. So you can see people with huge arms not be very good at this, but that's because it's the weak core. So we have to understand how that action works. So we are going to bow first of all, please. And step forward a gidambare. Okay, so from here, squeeze. I'm going to move my arm that way. So squeeze, squeeze. So you're squeezing in your legs, okay, here, this way. So this action, okay, and then squeezing here. Contraction, contraction, okay. So squeeze, squeeze, so squeeze, just squeeze. It's not going to come across brilliant on camera, I don't think this, but you know, got to try these things, haven't we? Squeeze, squeeze. So squeeze the legs coming in, squeezing together, yeah, more power, sitting down, gravity pulling down, and here, tension, 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 tension. Hope that's coming across what Shime is. So Shime is much about contraction and different to Kime. Kime is definitely the end of a technique. So again, thinking of my wavy arms, Kime is the point of impact, and Shime is this, squeezing tension together. Okay, really good to work on your Shime with a partner. Okay, with a partner. So a good thing that Sensei Hikite gets us to do when he comes over to England, or we go and see him, is putting our hands on our hips, okay, and he gets the other person, so if you're partnered up, will squeeze your elbows in, and you try to force it out as they push in, and you learn about tension and contraction with that quite easy. That also helps you relax the rest of your upper body, because to allow this to cut these arms to come in. Because we tend to start off here, but once you start to get quite good and you're not tensing too much, you can get these squeezed in quite well. But it helps you understand the concept of Shime. Okay? So, Kime and Shime, together. So, and step forward, get out. Okay, so, Gyakuzuki. So relax, and punch. Tension here, Kime, tension, point of impact, and here. Okay, so imagine we were doing what we were doing the other week when we did Jukumite. Yeah, we literally were punching and defending each other and counter punching. But imagine you didn't block one of those punches, you would need to shimmy, you'd need to tense Because if you didn't and you got hit, that's the wings knocked out of your sails and you're in trouble. So here, tension here, tension on impact only. So again, don't squeeze too soon, squeeze together. Okay, so squeezing. Just let the punch flow, and on impact, yeah, contraction here. As the hip comes in to deliver the punch, we squeeze down, we squeeze in. So it's all connected. The punch, protecting the body, delivery of the punch, everything working in harmony together. That yin and yang balance, okay, of both sides of the technique. Important to have really good balance in karate, definitely. So again, other side, okay. Right arm out, Gidanbarai, and punching Gyakuzuki, okay. So squeeze down, squeeze. Squeeze, 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 here, here, and right. I hope that's coming across okay, and that you are starting to understand what we mean by Kime and Shime. Similar, and are very close in terms of connection. Okay, two together, still missing a bit. And that brings us to our third and final part of our trio this evening, and that is Hikite. Hikite. Okay, so Hikite is, I think, one of the most important fundamental aspects of Shotokan karate, or its understanding. You have to understand what it is. If you don't, okay, then I think you're missing huge amounts of what Shotokan karate is all about. So Hikite, the best way to describe it in English, I think, for people, is a pull-push effect, okay, similar to a pulley system. Now, I was looking around the house earlier to see if I could find a great pulley to show everybody. No, I don't have a great pulley. I have some blinds on a pulley system, but if I touch those now, chances are, in my luck, you know, live on Facebook, they'll just fall off the thing, won't they? Because I shall just give them a good yank and that will be no good. So, a pulley system. So, if I just take my obi off and just show you. Think of this as a long rope, okay, a long rope stretching all the way to your home. Don't know how far away you are from me, but if you're at least 10 miles, it's going to be a long rope. Okay, and you're pulling on this end, okay, you're pulling on this end, and this rope is going to take, it's a long belt this, got a big tummy. One arm, it's going to take you a long time to get to the end of it. So, using one arm, we can punch with one arm, we've proved that, we did this the other Thursday, but we're just using the one arm. So a better way of pull-push, pull-push. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, and we're already at the end. It's like a pulley. Punch, pull back. Punch or pull. Yeah, does that make sense? Feeding along the pulley system gives you much more strength. Much more strength. Ah, Tatiana, good evening. Us. Hi, Scott. My name is not Scott. My name is Richard. Scott's a great name, though. It's a great name. If I was going to be named anything else, it would be definitely Scott. But Scott Scoop would sound weird, and so I don't think that would be probably why my parents didn't choose it. So hopefully that now makes sense as to what you've got in your Hikite. So let's put it into real context. How does this work? What does it look like? Okay, so if you think of the punch all the time, you're not going to understand Hikite. Think of the other hand. Okay, if you're thinking of the block all the time, you're not going to understand Hikite. Think of the other hand. If you're thinking of kicking with the kicking leg, you're not thinking of Hikite. It all fits in once you understand what it is. So So if we put our arm out, okay, I can show you Hikite with one arm. This is the punching hand for Gyakuzuki, okay, and this is our yoi position. So our yoi position could be Jodan or Chudan or Gidan, makes no difference, okay, but if we choose this here. Now this is Hikite, but not on its own. This is just one on its own, just arm, okay. Hikite is this action, relax. Just this action, relax. Okay, so this action combined with this action, Hikite, pull, push, yeah, punch, pull, whatever way you remember it is immaterial, but you now hopefully understand the concept of Hikite. So this is really important here. Okay, now I used to fight a lot, and I was pretty successful until I had some pretty bad injuries that stopped my competitive days, as it were. One of the main things I learned, basically in Kumite, fighting competitions in particular, but also training with some really experts in this area, so Sensei Wayne Otto, I trained with him many times, is understanding how they got their speed and their power and their punches. Okay, and it's the Hikite hand is such a crucial technique, or part of the technique, that its balance is exactly the same as the punch that's going out, or the kick that's going out. The delivery is exactly the same. So if you're putting 110% in your punch, and I've always said that I do, then you must 110% on your Hikite. Okay? And that's really, really important to get that balance correct. If you pull back at, say, 50% and punch at 100%, you have an imbalance. You won't have the same power. So we are forever, with our punches and blocks in karate and kicks, trying to perfect Hikite. Okay, so think of this hand here. Okay, drop your shoulder, relax your body, and pull it back. Change legs. Put your arm out. Okay, relax your body. Tell your brain relax, relax, relax. Put yourself on a beach somewhere nice, because you can't be there at the moment. And pull back. Change. You can see that I'm left-handed, can't you? Or can you? Can you? I don't know. I think I have a good balance. I'm left-handed, so left-handed definitely gives me some advantage. I think in terms of practicing my bad side all of the time, I don't have a bad side, but when I think I first started karate, it was very right side biased, and so that was definitely me practicing my not so good side. So this hand, in. This hand, drop the shoulder, relax the body, bring the hand back, the same as it goes out for the punch. Not the shoulder, okay, and here. And it's a smooth action, as if using a pulley. Okay. Think of a pulley here, think of my hips as the pulley or the flywheel. That's probably the best thing to picture, right? The flywheel. And feeding through. A nice smooth action is a good pulley. Okay, a jerky action is not so good, so we try to make this smooth. So think of a steam train, the fact that they run on tracks. The tracks, regardless of whether they go around the corner, they stay parallel. Okay, so they follow each other. Distance is the same all the time. When we're doing Hikite, think of that action of a steam train. Yeah, because this is how their wheels obviously worked. I know this because I've grown up on Thomas and Tank Engine, and so did my kids. So think of that action. Does that make sense? I hope. Okay, so the pullback is the same as the arm that goes out. So in Shotokan karate, if we're punching correctly, this elbow should be hopefully out of view, this hand should be on the hip, okay, and then this punch is just delivered dead straight. And we know that by dragging, not dragging, that's the wrong word, but by brushing the side of our body with our punch. If our elbow comes out, we know we're not punching straight, and we know we're not going in a straight line, so we know it's not correct. So this is a good indicator. And that shime, here, that tension, that contraction. And of course that Kime here. So, Kime, Hikite, Shime, Shime, Hikite, Kime, Hikite, Kime, Shime, makes no difference, they're all connected, okay, to make the correct technique. So we are going to just practice some Hikite for a minute, and then we will combine all three in some different techniques to finish the lesson. Hopefully if that will make sense to everybody. Okay, so this hand and this hand working together. So talk to your body, tell yourself, this hand comes back at 100%, this hand goes out at 100%, and the delivery is together, okay? Remember your shime as you punch, remember your kime as you finish. Okay, so starting to now connect the three, a bit like Lego, as I've said previously many times before. So connecting the three. So get your stance, you're in a comfortable position, don't need to bother looking down, just look straight ahead, put the arm out, okay, relax your shoulders, and just ever so slowly, slow speed deliver. Okay, a punch, ish, together. Okay, and then you can just punch again. This time we go Joe again, ish. And you can see the Hikite hand, ich, ni, san, shi, go. They connect. Connect, tension here, connect, tension here, connect. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Roll, sich, hach, hu, ju, ya. Hey, change legs. Same again, creating balance, need to practice both sides, don't just practice your right side please. If your left side is weak, make it stronger. That's really important to do, so get that balance correct. So again, this arm out, this arm here, the same thing together. So we'll do 10 punches the same as previous. Ich, ni, san. Are you contracting? Shime. Are you kime? Shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ku, ju, ya. Hey, yame. Hey, radios. Hey, and breathe in and out, and 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 in and out. And pause. Now again, the reason I put in the breaths there is really again for us to understand the connection between these three and the breath. Okay, the breath is again so important in terms of. You can just keep going on this, by the way, in terms of how do you create the perfect punch. I said to you it's not possible, but always trying to achieve that. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of little things to think about. Okay, Shime, Kime, Hikite are just three elements. The breath, tracing the breath, how we contract the muscles, how we can allow them to expand. And does that make sense? There's lots and lots of little things, but we just concentrate on these three today. Okay, so a little bit faster and a little bit stronger and a little bit better, hopefully. Step forward, get under like ich. Okay, so left arm out. Hey, Yakuzuki. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ku, ju. Hey, change legs. Same again. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ro, sich, hach, ku, ju. Hey, yummy. Okay, so now showing you how the three work together with blocks. So just using Magyuki, Sotoruki, Uchuki, Gedambarai, that sort of thing. Okay, and how you connect the three together. So, right, hey boy, and step forward, Gedambarai, ich. Okay, so getting nice and warm in my kitchen is lovely. Okay, so we thinking of Agiyuki. Okay, so our block is coming up here. Okay, so when we do the punch, when we do the block even, okay, we are coming here, relax, 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 relax. This hand, come here, and connect, connect. Hips together, hips connect, arm connects. Shime, shime. Hikite, shime, kime. Kime here, shime here, shime here, hikite here. So we're putting the three together to make that better technique. And I always say to my students, try to better yourself. Don't ever think about being an opponent or a partner, just think of beating your better self. So if you're that good, be better than that good, okay? And if you were better that time, then be better next time. And if you weren't better, then why weren't you? And then think about that and try to improve again, okay? And restart if need be. Okay, so Agiyuki position, so yoi position, upper rising block. Okay, so we will connect this with the Gyakuzuki, so I think it works nicely, and you can understand Hikite, Shime, Kime together. Okay, so nice and slow. So relax the shoulders. Remember, we don't bring the shoulder up, relax the shoulders. Blocking up each, so here, connect here, hey, and here, connect here. Okay, so Hikite here, Hikite here, Hikite here, yeah. So think Hikite, don't think block, don't think punch. Okay, so Hikite, Hikite, huh? Hikite, 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 Hikite. I'm thinking Hikite, I'm thinking, does that make sense, I hope? Excuse me, I've got sweat pouring in my eyes, it's not a great thing, I can't see anything. So that I hope is getting that understanding of what Hikite is and that you're practicing right now, hopefully, fingers crossed, or if you're watching this in the future, then you are, that sounds weird, then you're also understanding. Okay, so 1 and 2. Okay, now take the focus away from the Hikite and think Kime. So Kime and Kime. Kime and Kime. Okay, now take away the focus from Hikite, Kime, and think contraction. So here and yeah. Understand? Now, try to do all three. Try to do all three. Okay? So, hey, we step forward, get under. Itch. So ready. Itch. Hikite. Hikite. Usli and Alex. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. So, join together. This position here. So ready, ish. Hikite, Hikite, Kime, Shime. Hikite, Kime, Shime. Hikite, Kime, Shime. Goes. Ich. So thinking of the hand coming back. Thinking of the contraction as that happens. Thinking as the punch explodes or the block breaks. Change legs. So ready. Itch. So make sure you've got some hip movement here as you deliver the punch. Okay, you contract tension, shime as you deliver. Itch. Again. Itch. Yeah, tension on the punches. And yari. So, I hope that's built a picture. My karate lessons are very much about building stories. I think I start off on one thing, then go to another, then another, and eventually everyone wonders how he does it, but I somehow try and bring it all together. That's how my mind works when I'm teaching karate. I remember in my early days as an instructor, as a purple and white belt, 'cause that's when I started to, Sensei started to allow me to help assist teaching. I wasn't teaching, I was assisting teaching. And he used to make us write lesson plans. So as my progression came towards Dan grade, we used to have to write lesson plans. And I was part of the EKGB, or we were as an organisation, and I went through the whole EKGB, the English Karate Governing Body's very, very strict, I might add, course for instructors. You always had to write a lesson plan. Students, number, however, health and safety risks, all of this stuff, and then at the end of it you had your lesson. Now, most teachers will tell you, okay, and I work in a school as a teacher, so I kind of understand this, you need to plan lessons to a point, but when you're just delivering one subject and one subject matter only, I find personally my best lessons are those that I don't think about. And what I do is I just build a story throughout my period of time I'm teaching. So if it's an hour lesson or a 2-hour lesson, it makes no difference, and I just maybe go off on tangents. So if you think of a map, a treasure map, okay, eventually we might not go route direct, but we will get to the treasure. Okay, what I'm trying to do is connect all the different routes so you see all the best things, maybe all the views and things that are going on, okay, and then you get to the treasure at the end. I hope that makes sense. That's what happens in my head anyway. I don't know what your feedback would be on that in terms of how crazy my lessons are. I do think sometimes the back belts think I'm mad, but that's a fact, so we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so Kime, Shime, Hikite. Okay, there's no imbalance between the three. They are all equally as important, same as the 3 Ks of karate, Kion, Kata and Kumite. So you must make sure that you get these to work together. Okay, so just to recap then what Kime is the finish, the end. Okay, and that's all you need to remember. I think in Japanese, I think it means end. It doesn't mean finish. Finish is yame, I think. Well, no, I know it is, but I think it's the end. It's completion. Oh, that's a good word. Completion. So completion of the technique. So that's it. On point when it hits. This feeling here and bang. Kime. Shime. Shime is the contractional tension. Okay, using the muscles to bind the bones together, to lock out, to make ourselves stronger. Okay, so that definitely has a big impact on our technique. And then of course our Hikite is that pull back. The pull back on like a pulley system to make our technique stronger. Okay, I've seen this proven time and time again, more in the sort of 90s and 80s if I'm honest, with karate, and I remember in particular watching a boxer once who was just really powerful, like one of the most powerful heavyweights you've seen. And then they taught him about bringing his arm back and Hikite and using his hips. And my God, did he improve his speed not only, but his power was phenomenal. The increase was like 27-28%, it was huge, huge. So it's really important that we understand this Hikite. Hikite, pull back to deliver a punch, to deliver our block, yeah, okay. To deliver our kick, bang, this leg comes back, yeah. If we just kick with one leg, we're using our body. Contraction, Shime, Kime, Hikite, it's all together and all connected. Hope that's come across. Okay. What I'd like to do is very quickly before we finish is just to remind you Thursday's lesson will be 7 PM as per normal. Do something different on Thursday's lesson. Friday Q&A with Sensei. You get to ask me what you want about karate. You can, if you don't want to do it live, you can't make 6 to 7, send me a message on whether it's on Facebook, WhatsApp or email or whatever, phone, etc, etc. What question have you got? And then I promise you I'll read it out and you can always watch it back. I think I haven't put the other QA on YouTube yet, but I will do. I promise you I'll do that. I think that's the only one I haven't put on YouTube yet. Please do look at our YouTube channel. I've put some new videos on there. A little bit of a movie from my time in Japan in 2016 with Akita Sensei. Just really the karate aspect. I haven't put anything from the actual trip itself, but I might do that if people are keen to see it, because it's from a travel log perspective, it's pretty cool. It's the coolest place on the planet in my opinion. Been there twice and it's fantastic. So that will be Friday, and feedback is important. Please continue to give me ideas. If you want to do you want me to do something in a particular lesson, then I'm happy. I'm open for suggestions. As I say, I plan my lessons usually a couple of minutes before I do the lesson itself. Harry, you're boiling. Love that. Harry, you're not alone, mate. I think this kitchen is on fire at the moment. I always moan about the floor, but I'm sticking to it at the moment. So anyway, enough of me talking. Please remember Kime, Shime and Hikite. That's really important, and keep practicing that, please, and keep practicing your karate. Stay with us. We will be back in the dojo sooner than we can imagine, which I think is a long way away, but I think we'll be back much sooner than we want, maybe we had hoped. I have a goal in my head. It's very much down to the government, I'm afraid, in terms of how we get us all back together, but we're really keen to stay connected with you via this medium, if that's okay to start with. So hopefully see you Thursday. We'll finish with the dojo-kun to finish the lesson. So Kyotsuke, please. And ready? Dojo-kun. Hitotsu jinkan kokansei no soromoto koto. Hitotsu makato no michi o nomoru koto. Hitotsu doryoku no seishin yashinau koto. Hitotsu reigyo o monjuru koto. Hitotsu keki no yo imashimuru koto. Tripping over my words this evening. Hitotsu. What does that mean? We'll finish the lesson there, and thank you very much. Oyasumi nasai, arigatou gozaimasu, and we'll see you Thursday. Ja matane. See you later. Us. Good night. Good night. Good night. Us. Konbanwa. Us.